Yeah, so last session, we excuse me, starting already. Who's called me Sam the Dog Slayer? Why am I called Sam the Dog Slayer? Did I kill a dog last session?
You killed Pepper last session.
I
Pepper
beg
did
your
not
pardon.
die.
Not
Pepper
a
was
dog, not dead.
unconscious.
Pepper would be dead if Sam had his way.
Well,
Also
no,
not a dog.
I'm pretty sure animal companions don't go unconscious. They don't get death saves. They just die. So if anything,
Yeah, you've killed him every
Sam's way
time.
saved you. Silence, Jake. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure we made Pepper non-combatant, so Pepper's not been in any fights since the underground passage.
Best to keep it that way, I guess.
I'm pretty sure Sam homebrewed a monster that specifically targeted animal companions first.
I don't know what you mean. Yeah, we opened up mid combat after your arrival via plane shift into Jakrash, where you fought with some troll-like creatures, some sort of feathered flying lizard dinosaur type creatures, and then this horrible, decrepit, decaying trinicorn, I'm gonna call it, I guess.
Yeah.
Which was a pretty hefty combat. Took down Pepper, although Lay on Hands was able to right that wrong. But you did eventually bring the creature down before taking some time to climb up a hill in this sort of boggy marshland swamp you were in to get a feel for the general area and try to work out where you were heading. There were no kind of obvious landmarks. Elwyn attempted to try to place where you were. Elwyn has quite a lot of knowledge of Jakrash, but this particular area wasn't something that Elwyn was able to immediately sort of identify. But using the general layout and looking to a large range of mountains to the west, Elwyn was able to ascertain that you are somewhere in the sort of furthest eastwards reaches of Jakrash, quite deep into that area, about as far from Austria as you could probably get. You eventually decided there was you could see a sort of forested area over to the northwest of you. You eventually initially was deciding where to head, then spotted some movement via Carl's owl, James. Was able to spot a group of creatures, unable to quite make out the finer details, but having sort of followed up and sort of getting on the sort of following their tracks essentially and using some of Elwyn's experience, you were able to identify it as a group of orcs, 5 in number, as well as another two-legged creature. You carried on tracking this group and eventually caught up with them, identifying that this was a group of orcs along with a Etin, a two-headed giant. You snuck up on this group whilst they were feasting on some dead animals, and you got a very comfortable drop on the orcs, making extremely short work of them, before questioning the Etin to get some information. The Etin was able to tell you that the orcs are part of Kulgar's warband, Kulgar being the leader of the orcs. This sort of warlord that kind of has the overall control of all the various tribes and groups of orcs in Jakrash. Also, stop me if I'm wrong, but I believe also told you that Kulgar and the majority of the warband were currently in this forest you had seen, hunting for something. The Etin, following your diplomacy skills, agreed to lead you there and to kind of side with you. Etin's maybe less than being aligned with these groups of orcs. They tend to be essentially slaves or somewhat willing captives. Agreed to come and help you, but through some insight, you were able to ascertain that this seemed like a entirely disingenuous offer, and Carl made very quick short of beheading each of the heads. You discussed what your next steps would be and decided that heading towards this forest and searching for Kulgar would make sense. But you're also well aware you are all now getting to around sort of 36 hours now since you last had any kind of rest. And decided you were going to attempt to make camp and take a long rest where you currently are. Which was where we left off on things.
I am fully expecting, by the way, that when we take a long rest, we will wake up 2 levels lower than we were before. So I've been expecting the Uniter to take back his boon.
Interesting.
Nah, he can't do that. He wouldn't dare.
Like a challenge. Yeah, so you guys, what are you doing in terms of rest? Are you like taking some watches, or because long rest you obviously require, well, especially after 36 hours, is going to require some kind of sleep from you all.
Oh, if only we had a Warforged.
If only.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take watches. Is 2-hour watches each is probably fine, right?
Yeah, you got 5 of you.
I only
8
need
hours,
a lot of rest being an elf.
Oh, so should the rest of us take an hour watch for the first 4 hours, then, and you take the second 4? Because you're an
I've
elf.
got a feeling that Joanne's the same.
He's half elf, right?
Does he not have the same benefit?
No.
I just stepped out of the room. I've just got back. What do I
Okay.
not have the benefit
I'll
of?
I don't.
Yeah,
think,
we did that.
half elves, you don't get the. You still need a full 8-hour rest, don't you? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do that, and then I'll take the 4 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's only for levels that can trance.
Yeah,
So-
I'll trance for the first 4 hours and then take the rest.
Cool. Okie dokie. I guess, do the rest of you any preference on order of taking these watches?
I'd like to go 4th.
I'll go first.
I'll go wherever.
Nyx feels the same way, I think. Cool. Okie dokie. Because I like to put your fate in your own hands. Archer, do you want to roll D20 for me?
Not massively, but I think you're going to make me anyway. Have a dice. Yeah!
Nice.
Well, that leaves a little mystery, doesn't it?
It might be a good thing that I rolled a 1. You never know. Sometimes it's a good thing.
Yes, it definitely can be. Anyway, yeah, you guys decide to sort of make up camp, set up some space to rest up. Arteria taking first watch, and it takes very little time at all. Oh, there's Pepper. Look. Takes very little time at all, Arteria. Roughly 30 minutes, whilst everyone's still sort of really kind of setting up. Unless anybody is feeling particularly dozy, you're probably still not even like fully asleep by the time you've sort of set yourselves up and made space for the night. Arthur, you hear, in fact, anyone that is still conscious, which I guess will be all of you with set up time, etc., hear a loud roaring sound. Sounds like it is coming from a westerly direction of you, and sounds sounds more like a group rather than a singular creature. Almost like, rather than a loud roar, it's almost like some screams and cries of some creatures. But yeah, everybody hears this. You are all aware.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Can we tell where it's coming from?
You can all make a perception check for me, I guess.
Oh, I'm just rolling real great, aren't I?
How do you roll a 1 without rolling? Sorry, 2 without. What did you roll on the dice? A 2? Do you get plus nothing?
Yep.
Wow.
I
Yes,
am
plus
not.
7 roll a 1.
I
I rolled a
am-
1 and 2.
Yeah, I am not a. Yeah, you rolled a 2 and still got a 10, right?
Yeah,
Fine,
I rolled
Nick's-
a 1 and a
Nick's
2.
has bailed us out.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to grab one.
Just don't let him fire a gun.
Nick's will be rolling 20s all this session today, I reckon.
Yeah, he's not going to misfire.
Whilst rereading the Gunslinger subclass last night, I noticed that I've been forgetting to... Well, I noticed two things. One, I suddenly realised that I forgot to give the Gunslinger Nick's grit points back whenever they roll a 20. Then I also realised it didn't matter because I don't think he ever
He
spends
never
grit
uses his
points.
trick shots. Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't matter that I'm not keeping my end of that bargain. I may need to trim some actors. Why can I not find what I want? Have I accidentally deleted an actor? Give me. I know I said I felt underprepared, but I didn't feel this underprepared. Give me one moment. I think I may have deleted something I did not mean to delete, which is fine. This can be fixed.
Jake, are grit points like superiority points, but for
They are
gunslingers?
literally exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, so let's see. What did everybody roll? Cool. Apparently, only Nix and Jahan are paying much attention. You were trying to work out. So you were trying to work out what distance they were. Was it?
Whereabouts, which direction, but distance would be good as well.
So it sounds like they're coming from a westerly direction, which is because I'm always lazy. I always assume north is up, so it's over in that direction. Hard to get a clear sort of idea of distance. It certainly doesn't sound like too far. And as I say, rather than sort of one creature, it sounds like almost like a group of creatures sort of crying out, shouting, screaming, something.
Animalistic or humanoid?
Animalistic, certainly animalistic. Yeah.
Fucking dinosaurs again. Just know it.
So anything anybody wants to do, I guess, in immediate response, preparation, anything like that, or
Carl will kind of drag himself up and grab the greatsword.
I want to go and hide behind the rocks, and
And
Pepper's going to run away.
I think, assuming these rocks on the edge are here, then I'm going to sort of move towards where that gap is
Mm-hmm.
to really just have a look through.
Yeah. You can do that.
Probably sort of walk towards it along sort of this bit, but then if there's something obvious coming through, then move off to one side.
Yeah.
I move back here, like far back.
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, you
Hide him.
you head over, Carl, to take a look, and as you get there, you can see over this sort of like dry, muddy sort of plain out to the west. You can see 6 very large-looking, furry, sort of furred, 4-legged creatures moving at quite a pace in your direction, and you can see they are mounted. Each of them has a rider. And yeah, you are a military man of Austria with some background in the City Watch. You recognise from sort of stories, etc. These are sort of stories from the war on the edge of Austria against Jakresh. These certainly fit the description of wargs. These large wolf-like creatures, which orcs are quite often known to use as mounts. Vicious, quite vicious, but also quite well trained to their master's commands.
Is there anything we can do to keep ourselves hidden? Nothing I can see. I'll look back round and shout, I guess, depending how they're still quite a way away, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm kind of going they won't be able to hear us, so I will quietly shout, Elwyn, you want to see this?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can both look out. Elwyn, you've encountered wargs a number of times. And yeah, you know these to be quite vicious. They are well trained, but they are very much tools of war. They are trained in warfare. Will follow their riders' commands, pretty much even to their own detriment, to their own death.
Is this the only entrance here?
Sorry.
I don't know why I'm pointing at it because you can't see. Where we're still, is this the only entrance?
You're on quite an open area. There is some rocks to the sort of west of you, but even just a little bit sort of south here, like there's plenty of ways that they could come round. This map's wasn't my best choice of maps, but as I mentioned last week, this is actually quite a flat area.
yeah.
I was thinking maybe there's some traps, but they're
Have you
a bit too flat.
still got Pass Without Trace running?
No, it's only an hour, and I'm sure
Yeah, no, you do. It has 6 minutes remaining.
Cool. Okay.
Judging from the speed they are coming at, you've probably got between 2 and 3 minutes at most before they will be in this vicinity.
I'd say we hide and ambush.
I think that makes sense.
If they don't stop, we don't have to fight them.
We got like a camp in the middle. We're not going to get rid of the camp in 2 minutes.
No. Just go and hide. Or Tar can pretend to be asleep.
Pretend to be asleep in the middle. Would it not be better to hide around the sides?
He's full of metal, they can't hit him anyway.
Jean pretends to be asleep. You got you. He can
Oh, I
just
said
think he's
Arthur,
sleeping,
not John. John's alright, Arthur can be bait.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Which,
We're all hiding and Arthur can just pretend to be asleep.
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that plan. They ain't gonna fucking kill me.
Well, think him.
Hard as steel, I am.
yeah, we should send Nix off into the side as well.
Yeah, Nix, you should go like hide behind that tree and whatever.
Okay.
Oh, it's Cormac here.
No, that was that. I don't know if I'm being sarcastic or you are, but no, that was me.
John, you going to hide or?
Yeah, I'll put my armor on and then I'll try and find somewhere. If those rocks are cannon, then I'll go
Yeah.
to this one
Yeah.
down here. I can't move because I'm not allowed to. Oh no, because it's one over here. Oh, for God's sake. That'll do. Is good enough. I'm hiding around there.
Yeah, that's cool. Nix picks a really good hiding spot. You're just staying as bait, are you, Arthur?
To be clear, is my plan literally just to be stood in the middle of this place?
Sleep.
Sleep?
Yeah, pretend to be asleep.
Okay, but I'm finding somewhere where I can pretend to be asleep, like sat up against something, because I'm not laying down on the ground and waiting for these guys to trample me.
Oh, well, I was going to hit him before they got to you.
I think. Well, I'll stay in the middle. I'm happy to be bait, and we do that. And if they then start attacking me, you guys pile in. If they just go straight past, we leave them to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Sound good? So I'm gonna prop myself against something. Use something to kind of be sat up at least, so it's quicker for me to get to my feet.
Yeah.
And just wait. Stare in the direction of the noise. You won't be able to see I'm looking because I got a tin can on my head.
Everybody else can make a stealth check for me.
Could I try and look menacing whilst I sleep?
You can make an intimidation check.
Oh, I actually have disadvantage on it as well because well, I'm putting my armor on. To be very clear, my armor is on.
Yeah.
Do I have disadvantage? I think I do if my armor's on. So it might be worse than the 14. Let me just double check.
Whoa, you're a scary, sleepy man.
I am the scariest fucking scarecrow you've ever seen, mate.
Oh, yeah.
We might not have a fight, boys. They might just run past us.
Double checking. There's no way of like. Oh, here you go. Advantage.
Just
I have advantage on dexterity stealth checks. So.
So it's yeah.
Yeah.
so cancels out. Yeah, just to be clear, if I can see these guys
Yep.
once they get close to the wargs, if it looks like they're going to make some sort of ability check to decide whether they're scared of Arthur or to
Yep.
decide what's going on, I would like to know before you roll the dice.
That is absolutely fine. Yeah, Carl, from where you are, you can hear them approaching pretty quickly. And yeah, you all catch sight of a group of 7 of these wargs, each with a rider on their back. Yeah, cool.
Best thing to help your intimidation check is all the dead bodies around him as well.
They sweep in pretty quickly. You see they sort of stop as they get to here. This one, can you guys actually see the wargs on sorry, not the wargs, but the orcs on them?
Oh, just wargs.
Just walks.
How have I managed to make these invisible and I can't turn them away from invisible? Oh, it might be because they're mounted and stuck to these. That's fine. There are some orcs atop these as well.
I'll take your word for it. What was I? Oh.
That?
Be handy if they decided today to speak Common, Dwarvish, Halfling, or Elvish. Oh, there's an orc.
I know what I did. Let's do that.
Are they underneath?
No, I I used a macro essentially to make the mounted combatants move with the with their mounts essentially. But what it meant was, as soon as I made them invisible, they're no longer editable. So I couldn't turn them away from invisible whilst they were stuck. So I'm just now undoing my own magic. In trying to make things easier, I just complicated things, which is the story of my life, I guess. Hey, look at that. Visible riders. Yeah, they all sort of come in. You see this sort of come to stop. This one here rides up and calls out in Orcish. Am I right in thinking, Elwyn, you're the only one that speaks Orc?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else does, do they? Yeah, you.
That trace expires.
Time in. Yeah, you recognise the language as it calls out, and it stops, and it calls out and says, "One armoured one on his own. He could have." And you see this orc that sort of moves up to Arthur, stops and looks around at the Etin and the orc bodies on the ground, and says, They must have died fighting them. Another one of these ones here. This one moves forward on the warg. Again, you hear it shout out, Elwyn. Just calls out, almost sort of like almost disagrees with that theory, and calls out. Basically, almost like mocks the other one. Like, what? They stabbed each other at the same time, did they?
As they pull up, for want of a better phrase, Arthur just turns to the ones that are making noise, like tilts the helmet back and forth, just puts the longsword up on his shoulder and just makes it glow with that divine energy.
Nice.
And just waits.
Cool. As you do, these two that had moved forward, you can see there's almost like a panic. The two wargs, as all of a sudden this body sort of moves and you light the sword up, the two wargs actually like buckle up and pull back and throw both of the mounts down off of them. Can you roll a d6 for me, Arthur?
Come on, sixes. What?
Nice. Yeah, and the two riders take some force damage as they are thrown off down to the ground. And immediately, a sort of commotion kicks up. You can hear all the sort of the rest of the wargs, the two that are clear nearest you, they sort of kick up and begin sort of growling and screaming or whatever is happening. As you sort of suddenly move out of nowhere, they throw those other two off, and the rest of the group suddenly becomes a little more anxious and angered, it seems, and we will drop into initiative.
Good, I wanted to kill some orcs.
Jahan, you are unseen currently and top of initiative.
You're seeing.
Excuse me.
For the purposes of like targeting,
Yes.
I'm assuming the wargs are like the things we use to target, and the.
So with mounted combat, you've got a choice. You can choose which you want to target, or if there's any kind of area effect, it will get both.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I mean. So if there's an area effect, I put it on the warg and not the rider.
We'll count the rider as included. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna place this down now. Then I'm gonna move to where it is.
Yeah.
Afterwards, because I'll move around that side of the rock.
Nice.
And then fire a lightning bolt from there.
Yeah.
Get those three.
Nice.
Should be three, right?
There's the
three, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what's happened. Yeah.
This one here, I just need to make a dex save on. which is a pass. So he takes the 12. Nice, yeah. The 3 wargs and 2 riders. Obviously, this one closest to you is the one that threw its rider off down to the ground there, but the 2 rear ones, both the riders took the damage as well. Yeah, you burst out with the lightning. And you see they sort of, again, the wargs in particular, the orcs start sort of like almost sort of growling and screaming with anger. The wargs themselves just sort of scream out with pain as this lightning hits them. Is there anything else you want to do?
No.
Nice.
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
This warg down here charges forwards towards you, Artur.
It is met with an intimidating glare.
Indeed. And then this one here is going to make an intelligence save. I don't know if any portent wants to occur.
No, I will allow that.
Nice. Yeah, makes an intelligence save, and appears to be smart enough to recognise that this situation does not look particularly great. Yeah, it kicks off, obviously, throws off its rider, then takes a bunch of lightning damage from Jahan. From John, sorry, I'm going to start getting that right. And then immediately, almost just sort of turns, just avoids stamping over the rider as it just dashes down southwards and away. Yeah, this orc here gets thrown off down to the ground, pulls himself back up, and will take a bonus action for aggressive so it can move its full speed. Runs towards you, John. It just runs towards you, screaming some kind of war chant as it runs towards you, swinging its great axe. And it's so angry, it just takes a swing and you duck out of the way as it just hits into that rock beside you. You do not care about that, apparently. This orc here, this one right at the back, will... what's the range on that? Yeah, this one here just pulls a javelin out and takes a long throw towards you, Artur, with its javelin. And yeah, you see this javelin just sort of throws off, cut and falls, actually just falls short, doesn't even have the distance. As he sort of throws it out towards you, just lands short of you, just lands down into the ground, into the mud alongside you. And then this one here will just dash in like this. And another here. And then, yeah, the orc that's on this warg, as it sort of charges over towards you, as it reaches near you, John, just does the same thing as what the other one. Just pulls out this javelin as the warg sort of approaches you, waits until it gets to a decent distance, and then just takes the chance and throws a javelin out in your direction. Which strikes you and gets a bit of a glancing blow and deals 4 piercing damage to you.
I don't know what's worse, that or the fact that they're all lined up perfectly for a lightning bolt now.
They're not the most intelligent of combatants.
They don't have any more lightning bolts.
This one here just dashes over in that direction. Elwyn, you are unnoticed so far.
Okay, I'm gonna go for that one closest to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna first of all bonus action Starry Form.
Yep.
Archer one I'm doing.
Cool.
I can't do it this go, can I? Oh. Or does it automatically do it?
Apparently so. Let's just undo that.
I'm sure I can only do it. I can activate it, but I can't use it until next turn.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's removed sharpshooter.
Yeah, I think you put it on with that. Yeah, you can always just redo it. It's fine.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm going to have to work out a way to make this starry form work, aren't I?
For what it's worth, when you activate it, it does trigger. And do
Oh,
the
is it
starry
immediate?
form. It's when you activate it and as a bonus action on future turns.
Cool.
Yeah, it does it on its own, but it shouldn't have done the attack roll then. So this is advantage this time, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Now, by the way, that's what I'm saying, Shane. It should have done it then because it does activate. When you activate the starry form, you get to do that.
Oh, so yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so it did. Okay,
In that case, that one
it's dead.
is dead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
that,
when you activate it and... Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that was my advantage, right?
Yes, yeah.
Cool. That's what I was doing.
Nice. Yeah, you take a second shot, just knocking that orc there, and just falls back off of its warg and just hits down to the ground.
And my last attack. Shoot again, make sure it's on. Oh.
Yeah, that one falls short.
Too far away, that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
cheap.
that's it, yeah.
Oh, he's all the way back there. Okay.
Bro, I was only.
Who
I
is
was,
this guy?
I was literally only attacking the orcs.
No, that's the plan, I think.
Carl, you also seem unnoticed so far.
Mm. The warg down the bottom, the rider,
Yeah.
looks a little bit bigger. Is that...
Yeah. He looks a little more muscular and has a slightly more impressive armor to him. Yeah.
Is there room to stand on top of the warg?
You could do, yeah. Might not be the easiest thing to do, but yeah, certainly could do.
Okay. Okay. Gonna start out jogging,
Yeah.
and then sort of slowly get well. Actually, not get too fast, but I'm going to get to about there,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to misty step
Nice.
from there
Yeah, boy.
to the back of the warg.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm happy to make some sort of. Oh, okay. That actually, I'm going to misty step to here because that's. There we go. Boom. Because I didn't realise it was going to do that.
Yeah.
In fact,
you can do that as you land and try to keep balance once you
Yep.
get onto it. Can you make a dexterity check for me?
I would like to roll because I really don't want to embarrass myself, so I would like to roll a 17 for that. Thank you very much.
Nice. You absolutely can. That's fine. You roll.
And then I will attack
Yeah.
this guy.
Attack the rider.
Yeah,
Well, you had to embarrass yourself somehow, didn't you?
well, then I'll do it again. Yeah, no one's.
Brilliant.
Yeah, okay, that's slightly embarrassing.
Such
sword
a cool
was
turn
fired.
as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
And
surprised you didn't just try and tackle him off the back of the walk.
I did think about it. That's probably my mistake. I probably second guessed it as I did
It's
it.
fine.
And I believe that will have to do me.
Nice.
Bloody hell, I'm last. Bollocks.
Intimidatingly last.
Yeah.
This guy over here on this warg hears this sort of like puffing as you teleport through your misty step, Carl. And he just turns around and throws a javelin in your direction, which is a hit.
It's a hit. Well, I've got an action, so I will use shield as a reaction.
Yep.
It's
Nice.
Just literally, Carl just turns round towards its coming, and just this like this magical sort of shimmer just appears, and it just glances off.
It's a very, very magic turn for the anti-magic character.
Yeah, indeed.
Cool. This orc here is on this warg, so is adjacent to you, Arthur, for making a great axe attack.
Go for it.
As this warg just catches up down to you, just swings the great axe down from the side towards you. Yeah. You are unconscious, moving.
Try harder, mate.
Indeed. Carl, can I get you to make for me another dexterity check for me? Dexterity save, actually, sorry.
That's rubbish. Oops. Probably not.
This warg sort of just bucks up and attempts to just sort of it's almost like it's just jerking, trying to sort of throw you off of its strength and its muscle as it sort of pushes itself around. But you actually quite impressively just keep your balance on the back of it as it's doing it. You sort of dodge and move your weight in adjustment with it, and you stay perched atop this warg, even as it sort of dashes up across the battlefield in this direction.
Nice.
You are surfing on a warg. Arthur.
So, I was clearly just preparing myself, and that's why I'm last in initiative. That's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna full Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones, just charge into this kind of oncoming wall of wargs. I'm just gonna start running forwards, and as I do, the first thing I'm just gonna swing at the legs of this warg that's charged at me, and try and drop it to the ground. Not even necessarily trying to kill it, but I want to hit it hard enough that the orc falls off its back.
Yeah.
Do I want to divine smite? No.
Nice. So the rider comes in, takes a swing at you with a great axe, and you can just go straight underneath it and reply in kind by just sweeping at the legs of the warg. The rider does manage to just about hold on still.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. It would be cooler, but it would mean I'm gonna get hit. I assume attack of opportunity from the orc would come when I leave the warg's range.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep running past.
Okay.
And as I do, I'm just going to, because again, I don't actually necessarily want to kill the warg. I want the rider off.
Yeah.
So I just, with my other, I'm just gonna launch my my hand axe backwards at that orc.
Yeah.
And see if I can hit him with it. Why am I because it's a ranged attack within melee. I don't care anyway. I'm not going to smite, but I am going to grab that chain that's attached to the end of it and drag that orc's dead body off of that warg.
Nice, yeah. You do it.
Just drag him along.
Yeah, you throw it, even with the wargs either side of you sort of throwing you off, and this melee of great axes being swung around, you just throw the hand axe, bang, just right between the eyes on that orc, and you yank it back as the orc's just pulled off of the warg's back and onto the ground.
Awesome. I'm fine with this. And can I bonus action just give the warg that was riding it a bit of a to see if it runs off?
You
try
can
and yar at it.
You can make an intimidation check for me again.
I'm really intimidating. It's fine. Oh, that was nearly another 20. That's not fair.
That's not bad. We'll
I mean,
see
it's
what
still not bad
happens.
going. But yeah, I'm not going to leave its range, because if I
Yeah.
do, obviously it'll get a hit on me. But I am charging through these guys.
Nice. Yeah, so you like so you get that hand axe right between the eyes, pull it down, and as you do, you make this sort of like almost sort of intimidatory sort of gesture and movement towards the warg, and then you just hear the great axe behind you, this other orc, just swinging down as it sort of cuts through the air. And with advantage, rolls a 7. That was a 1 and a 2.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you hear it cut through the air, and yeah, you sort of hear it slicing through, duck down underneath it again. You just seem to have the superiority over these for the time being.
I turn to him and stare.
Nice. Cool. This one that is atop the warg you are on, Carl. Even with you on top of it, he just swings his great axe at you. He'll get advantage on this because you are sort of difficultly.
How does advantage work with portent?
What did we say, Jake? I can't remember.
Yeah, because
we
you
said overruled
determine the outcome of the roll. It overcomes it basically.
Yeah.
Where? So can I use it or not? Was that
yeah. So essentially, yeah, your portent will become the result regardless. Yeah.
Okay. He can get advantage, and then he's going to roll a 3.
Nice. So yeah, he swings the great axe at you, and feels like he's got a pretty good swing on it, and then it's almost like something just happens and messes with his grip on the great axe. And you almost see it sort of fumble out of his hands, but he sort of re-grabs it, but it sort of just throws him off from the attack. He does get a multi-attack.
Did you roll a 3?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't see that coming.
Then he just swings back again and takes a second swing at you with it.
There's not a lot I can do about that. Even with shield.
That one hits you with shield up.
Bloody hell.
Hits you for 12 slashing. I'll get you to make a dex save again.
I thought you might say that.
Don't worry, Carl. I'll come and help you in a minute, mate.
Oh.
That's
okay. I've got it.
Do not care, Carl.
No.
You like you say, he almost sort of lets go of the great axe, grabs it back, and then just bang, smash it just into your side. It almost does more damage just from the sort of strength of it rather than like piercing into you. And you take the blow back, and again, just these nimble feet of yours, you sort of move back very slightly, almost sort of stood on the neck of the walk as you sort of move back from the rider a little, but you stay mounted atop it.
Well, it's too stubborn to fall off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yet.
This one here turns off in this direction, heading over towards this war chief, it seems. John.
Yeah. So,
just for the sake, if you want to do it, I'm going to move that there.
No,
you said you didn't have any left, did you? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. There's no way of getting all three of them in that radius. Because he's dismounted, isn't he?
This one here is still mounted. No, this is the dismounted one. You're right. Sorry, this was the one that was dismounted. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way of getting all those in. Okay. Fine. Oh, nice. Okay, fine. That makes things easier. Then I'm going to run all the way around here.
Nice.
I'll stay here, I think. And then I'm done.
Yeah. Nice. You just burst their heads, I assume. Something horrific like that. Cool. This warg here is just going to take the dodge action. As it starts dashing around, almost sort of starts circling you, Artie, and sort of darting from side to side as you turn and look towards it now. This one just continues, runs down to the south, and you just see it disappear down to the south. This one here, runs round, circles around back behind that other one, Arthur, and just dashes up behind you and takes a bite at you.
Yeah, go for
it. Which misses. Yeah, dashes up round you, and you've got these 3 wargs around you currently. One of them with the rider. There's just this sort of cacophony of noise and growling and foul breath around you, but you're okay.
Got a lot of wargs around me, haven't I?
Yeah, this one alongside you.
Yeah. Nah, you fucker. Good luck.
With advantage, it's a 21, and it's still a miss. Elwyn.
Alton can't see any orcs right now, so he's gonna have to move. Okay, I see some. I will start off with.
You're targeting multiple things, Elwyn.
How do I untarget it?
There's a clear all targets button on the left.
Circle the little X
Yeah,
in.
that's it, yeah.
Okay, I'll start with that one. I'll start with my archer one.
Yeah. Nice.
And now I'll go to my normal attacks. Sharpshooter. Ugh. Again. Hope. That's one.
That one's bad.
Nice.
One dead. I'll go back because I realised I see John hiding behind me. I know John likes to shoot through things, so I'm going to try and go back and go behind him. Go back to where I was so he don't shoot me.
Just in case of a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hope that John wouldn't shoot a lightning bolt into the centre of that currently anyway, because I am basically just a fucking massive lightning rod.
Yeah, Carl, you're still stood atop this warg, face to face with its rider.
Oh, all the way through that, Cole was actually looking just sort of a little bit tired and a little bit bored. But now he's kind of warmed up a little bit, and so he will take a bonus action and rage.
Nice.
And
Here we go. Here we go.
Multicolored protective light.
Awesome.
That's one armor class. Nice.
And
So, yeah.
allies within 10 feet if you get that as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, he just kind of starts raging, and the sort of the magic that builds up around him just kind of explodes out into sort of multicolored aura, and then he will target the chieftain guy and recklessly attack him.
Nice.
And then he will recklessly attack him a second time. Oh, bugger it. Then he really wanted to hit him a third time. Because I was going to try and push him off the thing. I will action surge if I haven't already. I have not action surged.
Nice.
So Carl will action surge, then attack again.
Yep.
Still reckless. Oh, gets critically hits him. I will celebrate that with a trip attack.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, and I think that does that get doubled as part of the crit as well?
It does, yeah.
Lovely. If you could do that, and I think he gets a. So he succeeded, so he didn't fall off. In that case, I will just use my last attack on him.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
Carl.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fuck
So
this guy.
so Carl just sort of multicolored sort of explosion, and then he just starts wailing on the chief until the chief's separate body drops in like two halves, either side of the warg.
Yeah.
And then, you want to jump off the warg? How does one get off the warg?
Tame it.
Yeah, I think I'll carry it. Yeah, I will attempt to grab the whatever he was controlling it with. But yeah, I think that'll do. Carl is quite happy with that and is yelling quite loudly now.
It was a solid turn, I would say. Nice. This one is alongside you.
Lovely.
So yeah, he will take a swing with his great axe towards you. He should have advantage on that because you are reckless, aren't you? So I'll take a second one. But yeah, it does not matter. Carl, make a animal handling check for me.
I'll bet you wish you had a portent now, don't you?
Yeah, I could get it.
Now you understand the perils of having that feature.
There we go. Although, having rolled a 3, I was going to say I would quite happily roll it at disadvantage as well, because I don't imagine that raging is advantageous to making a.
You sort of drop down and grab these sort of makeshift reins on the warg as it begins dashing off in this direction. As it moves off in that direction, it pulls you with it and does give the orc another opportunity attack on you.
That's fine.
Which is a hit. But no damage, apparently.
Yeah, I can't see the roll either. It just says advantage rolled.
Oh, really? Okay.
On my screen.
Rolled a 3 and a 13. So
Is
it's 18.
it waiting for me to click on? It hasn't popped up the dialogue box, but the shield and my other reactions.
That's all good. Let's just do 1d12 plus 3. So it does 14, but you are raging currently, aren't you?
Yep. So 7.
So yeah, hits you for 7. The warg starts dragging you off, and again just starts sort of bucking around with its strength. Can you make another dexterity save?
No, I very much doubt it. Oh yeah, no, it turns out I can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sort of dashes off. Doesn't seem to like you. Keeps bucking and throwing around, but you maintain the advantage here, Carl. You have a tight grip on these reins. You are comfortably mounted, this beast.
I might consider trying to break it. Okay.
Arthur.
Cool. I got 3 wargs around me, right?
You do.
They don't seem to be fucking off.
They don't seem to be, no.
Oh, well, that's annoying, isn't it? I guess I'll fight some wargs. I wasn't going to, but you know what? Not going to turn down free XP if it walks up to me. I'm going to slice at this one. No to the smite. And then I'm going to do the same to... neither of these have actually hit me yet, have they?
No.
They both tried to bite me, though, I think.
Yes,
haven't
they have, yes.
So there is no logical way to decide which of them I'm more angry at. Therefore, I hit the one behind me because he's a bitch for sneaking up on me. And this one hasn't been hit yet, so I am going to smite, and I'll go for a second level.
Nice. Slashing
Boom.
down wargs.
And then I bring the sword down. It's quite a angry kind of hack towards its throat, and I just turn straight away to the one behind me, or that was then behind me, that's still alive. I just run.
How old were you when you realised, talking about ways of randomly deciding, when you realised that eeny, meeny, miny, mo isn't random?
Why?
6.
Because it's if you're choosing between two things, it's always the same result, right?
Oh yeah,
And I genuinely don't
yeah.
think
It
I realised that
always
until about my
picks.
mid.
It always picks the second one, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think that's right.
Everyone's doing it in their
Eeny,
head
meeny,
now, right? It's
miny,
not
mo.
just me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does,
So,
it does do the second one, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter how many things
Yeah.
you pick. It's not just two. An infinite number of things.
Yeah, yeah.
If you do it in a defined order.
Heartbreaking.
Why did you find that out today?
No. I was in my 20s, I think, but still, I mean, it wasn't my finest moment, probably. Yeah, this one just dashes towards you, Arthur, thinking that you didn't have enough wargs to deal with.
Not enough walks around me, is there?
John.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Clear this mess up a little bit.
We'll have disadvantage.
Um,
If it's because I'm near a thing, can I just go here instead? I don't know if that is why.
no, I don't know why, but that should have been a hit. Roll it again. That's fine.
Let's roll it again, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, it dodged. It dodged last turn. That one.
Oh, okay, fine. So it was a miss.
Yes.
That's fine. Well, that second one was my second attack anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's fine. Yeah.
so take
see?
9.
That's
Nice.
why I didn't attack that one. There was logic to it.
Indeed. Anything else for you, John?
No, you take 9 for the second one, yeah?
It did. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Then no.
Okie dokie. It is that one's turn. And it is just going to angrily take a bite at you, Arthur.
Go for it.
And it's entirely ineffective. Elwyn.
I'm going to move up a little bit.
Mhm.
He sees one orc there ready to kill. Am I still target mortal things?
No, you look right.
And I'll start with my normal now. Where are you? There you are. Use that one. I can't use it anymore. Oh, I think the Starry Archer just takes my world shape for some reason.
Yeah, I need to. I will work out a better way of doing this. But yeah, you should be fine now.
Oh.
Nice.
Now I will. Oh yeah, features. Silly sharpshooters disappeared.
Yeah, you strike him down.
I feel like I've done all my work now, killing all the orcs.
The orcs are dead. It is just wargs left. Yeah.
I was enjoying just shooting the old. Oh, we'll fight all orcs as well. Why not? Nah.
your heart's not in it.
It's heart's not in it. I'll just stay where I am.
Carl, you are mounted this creature, but it is not
Yeah.
currently under your control.
No, indeed. I will just quickly glancing around. It looks like pretty much it. So yeah, I think Otter's probably fine. So I guess I will drop the rage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, how can I bring it under my control? I will attempt to bring it under control. I guess you're going to say that's something like an animal handling roll, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, unless you
So-
have a better suggestion.
I don't have a better suggestion. I will say, yeah, I will drop the rage because that feels like the right thing to do if I'm going to try and do this, and I will attempt an animal handling roll. I cannot think of any way that I can make myself better at that? No. Nope. Okay. Attributes. Animal handling. Off we go. Oh, too bad. So first thing I'm going to try and do is just try and get it to stop bucking and slow down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of drop your rage, and it seems almost if the animal sort of sense your anger lessening, and you sort of becoming a little bit under control. And it seems to begin responding to your commands.
Okay. I will just sort of somewhere around that, in that little area, we're just kind of moving a little bit as we're trying to
cantering, I think.
Reach, trying to reach some sort of understanding. But yeah, that will do for
nice. Me. Artur.
No, I had enough trying to make these guys not fight me, and I'm pissed now. I'm gonna swing a sword at this one. Is it still dodging?
No, it's taking its turn now.
In die then.
Indeed.
Obedient.
And oh, it's my turn again. What would I have to do? Nah, do you know what? I'm gonna hit this one as well. Why not?
Oh.
Smack it on the nose.
Yeah. It feels like you guys are pretty comfortable here. Yeah. Drop out of combat. Carl, you seem to have, whether it is an eternal bond, it's hard to say, but you seem to have a friend.
I'll look over at Elwyn and just shout, "Do you think it's safe for me to get off now?"
We're about to have a rest anyway, so fuck it.
I'll so keeping hold of the reins, I will slide off to one side.
I cast Animal Friendship on him.
Nice.
I think that one doesn't. I don't think that has any. Oh wait, there's been. Is it got higher than 4 intellect?
It does.
Oh.
Don't cast it then.
No, it does. Oh, that means I can cast it on it.
Oh. No, intelligence is 4 or higher. The spell fails.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops.
You can cast it still, but it has no effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll cast Beast Bond on it.
You will be this creature's. That also fails if the beast's intelligence.
I should read that 4 or higher.
Elwyn is desperately trying, but yeah, 2 spells in a row.
I will talk to it.
If it has an intelligence, no.
It's too intelligent for me to command it that way. It means it's got some intelligence, so it means it can talk to me.
Yeah, you gain the ability to speak with it. You immediately cast a lot of spells, Elwyn. You just start pumping magic out left, right, and center, hoping for an effect. And then as you cast Speak with Animals, it's almost like the creature's panting and breathing almost just becomes like first it's like there's just a sound on this animalistic beast-like breathing. Then there's almost like there's a rhythm to it, and there's almost like it just becomes language to you. And you can sense that the creature seems quite almost gives like like an air of like subservience, and like it is quite impressed by this creature, which apparently has mounted it and kind of withstood all that the warg itself could kind of throw at it. It actually seems quite subservient and in awe of its rider.
I will. I've just noticed it's wounded. I'm just going to look at arcane healing. There is no a creature, so it's a creature. I will stroke its neck and that sort of stuff, and I will cast arcane healing. I better target it first. There we go.
Be friends. Be friends. He's a friendly chunk.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
And as I'm hoping we might have another encounter, and I reckon we're long resting, I'll do it again.
Sure.
Use up my spell slots.
Where's that spell come from? Because I have literally never fucking seen it before.
It came from the list I could choose on D&D Beyond.
I know it's
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah. What kind of? I forgot. I can't even remember what school of magic I am. In fact, I'm probably not. I haven't chosen it. Oh, School of Divination. I don't know where it came from.
I'm right next to him, so to continue this, I will help out with a cure wounds as well.
There we go.
Oh, you guys.
I'm still pretty sure it's going to bite me the next time I try and get on it. But
It's impressed with you.
I'm
Yeah.
also confused. What is arcane healing?
what's a spell? It's
I, to be honest, thought for a second you were pulling my leg and you had written that as a spell, Sam.
no
And that was a mock.
healthy body, healthy
fact
body,
that
healthy
art-
mind.
uh,
Words to live by. From the ancient wizard developed this purely for arcane form of healing. I don't know. It came from D&D Beyond. I'll see if
It's
D&D
not
Beyond.
even
tells me
on
where it came.
D&D Beyond, but I mean, I imported it, so it must have come from there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably from like Acquisition Incorporated or something.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Let's see.
I just love the
Why-
fact that Carl
If
can
you
heal.
Google arcane healing 5e, it doesn't even come
Literally
up.
nothing comes up. It's a spell in bloody
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, but what? Right,
First level evocation. It doesn't tell you.
Are you not messing with me, Sam? You didn't write that spell, right?
No, genuinely, I swear down.
And it just turned up on the list of spells that I could have. I don't see any way of filtering on force where it came from.
Well, Carl's got it. I'm just having a look at Carl's character sheet on D&D Beyond, see who's on there.
Which are arcane healing? Is it just? Is what we're talking about?
It literally doesn't exist on D&D Beyond.
Oh no, it is on his character sheet on D&D Beyond.
No, but I have just searched on the D&D Beyond search engine. Arcane healing. Looked for spells. It doesn't exist.
It must be from back. Yeah.
I'd have thought. Yes, I would have thought the school one, the Strixien or whatever it was, Academy.
I haven't got Strixhaven though.
No.
Oh well.
That's the thing, because that's where a load of them came from. But I haven't got that book.
Like if you Google the words arcane healing 5e,
It gets nothing.
it does not come up with it. Yeah, it does not come up with that spell.
You've been found out, Phil.
Did you make it as a homebrew spell? Oh, one sec. I don't think it's my homebrew. I don't remember making it. No, it's not on my list of homebrew spells because that
could it come from homebrew from?
If you've saved it as homebrew, potentially.
I can guarantee I have not done that. Because I
Then
wouldn't even know
no.
what that was. But I would have just gone spells. What school is it from?
It says it's a first level evocation spell.
Evocation, I think. Yeah. Where did I?
If you Google the spell description, it also brings up nothing.
I actually love the spell description as well. This is such a mystery. I love it.
I thought you were fucking with me because that makes it. Oh, there we go. Arcane healing, first level evocation, healthy body, healthy mind. Word to live by from the ancient wizard. It is a homebrew spell. It would seem by somebody, a very great wizard, called
Jay Chatwin.
Who Eyes Joe. But then there's also more versions of it. There's a second version of it that's exactly the same as a first level spell, and a version of it as a second level spell.
But how did you find it?
I'm on the homebrew
No, sorry. I mean,
chapter.
How did I find it?
Yeah.
Literally, it's part of the D&D Beyond thing. When you get to the spells bit, you can go, well, what spells can you learn? And it brings up a list.
How the fuck has that ended up on your list, though?
And I went, I'll have
I
that.
genuinely don't understand.
I am fine with this.
Interestingly, your wounds is a first level evocation.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Is it
pretty
not
obvious.
necromancy?
No.
Cure wounds
No.
clone, I would say.
I mean, yeah, it literally is just cure wounds.
Yeah.
Can wizards cast cure wounds?
No.
Okay, maybe that's the difference.
Wizards don't have access to any pure healing spells at
So
all.
someone's
Apparently, the Uniter really, really wanted to reward you for
Yeah.
siding with him.
There you go.
I like it. I mean, it's arcane healing was something that Z managed to half master, right? So it makes sense you
Exactly.
picked it up. Just you seem to be able to do it without bloody hurting yourself.
And much better than Pathfinder. It doesn't have any effect on undead.
That you
is
know
true,
of.
yes. Yeah,
Cool.
you appear to have a new
hell.
spell and a new wargy friend.
Excellent. Well, we'll see how long the Wargy friend lasts.
I assume I don't need to kill that one, right?
I'd rather you didn't for now.
Okay. I'll put the sword away. Pick up my axe. Put that back on my chest. Right, can we go to fucking sleep now? Oh, I'd loot the body of the war chief if he has anything on him.
You
A
certainly
horn of warg summoning.
He does. He does have a set of chainmail armor.
Boring.
But that's the only item of note he has.
They have javelins, right?
Yeah, there's some javelins.
Cool. I'm gonna pick up a few of the javelins and pick up a few of the orcs. And they came from over here, right?
Yeah.
At about 10-foot intervals across that bottom ridge, I'm going to attach orcs to javelins and prop them up out of the ground.
Lovely.
And then go back to bed.
That seems very paladin-like of you.
Yeah, I know.
I taught him that.
Yeah, you guys want to carry on with your rest, do you?
Yeah.
Well earned.
Lathander will understand because anything is allowed as long as it's in sight of getting to the next morning. I'm sure that's how it works.
I have to say, Carl, you comfortably won that combat.
As that all, it's nice when everything goes together.
I killed all the orcs apart from one.
I'm just gonna do a couple of
Roll some dice.
d20 rolls. Ooh. I think you can see those, can't you,
I
Sam?
can.
Yeah, good. Okay.
My favourite thing with portent is I can never decide what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, it's well. I would say that one of those is pretty rubbish.
I think
Anything
you
either end
always
of the
want an
scale is
extreme,
good,
don't
right?
you? It's the middles which
Yeah.
aren't great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want 20s because
Yeah.
that's the best, right?
20s,
But
20s is nice. Although
very closely followed by 1s and 2s. I actually think possibly 1s and 2s might be more useful than 19s and 18s.
Yeah.
Because you can force failed saves. Which
Yeah,
is obviously huge.
You all sit back and take a rest. With no further interruptions. It's quite late at night by the time that everyone's had a chance to sort of rest and get themselves back to their best. It's nearing midnight, but everyone has kind of rested up. I guess you can sort of decide what it is you want to do next.
Do we go to the forest now whilst it's dark, do you think? Maybe catch them sleeping?
So what I will do as well, whilst you're deciding, I'm going to very quickly grab a drink, just because I forgot to grab one.
Oh my god.
Elwyn will know whether they rest, whether they'll be resting at night, whether it's better to catch
Do
them
they sleep?
at night, at dawn, or are they more like Rings of Power orcs that are weak, weaker are we better off at midday? Because they will be at their most irritable.
I think orcs in general in D&D sleep, right?
I mean, they have to sleep. Yeah, it's just whether they generally sleep at night or during the day. But we were just attacked during the day, right? So we know they weren't asleep at 2:00. So, and that's pretty midday.
How easy would it be for us to navigate at night?
Should be okay,
Stars
right?
and stuff. We got.
I won't get lost.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
ranger.
As long
We've
as you
got
know.
a ranger and who is also a stars druid.
Yeah.
And somebody who knows the terrain.
Yeah, I actually work better tracking at night now.
Yeah.
I ain't ever been out of northern Austria or me. Well, not until I met you folks. So
I won't get us
Don't
lost. I
use-
know the night. I can track them down. But if you lose me, I should be able to find you.
Mm,
Depends how he's there. We can try and whittle them down slowly, or we can just go and challenge the war chief to combat.
Well, we just took out like 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm imagining that it's going to be like 30-ish of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a higher number.
Are these all orcs? You reckon, do you?
I think orcs and metins, probably some more
Some
There's
more wolves, yeah.
ogres as well, right?
ogres.
Where do
We learned there was ogres.
what do you knows about these things, Elwin? So do they sleep at night or do they sleep in the daytime and get up at night?
I think they're pretty much like us. They sleep and eat whenever they want. I'm going to guess they could be drinking and sleeping right now, depending, or they could still be hunting the prey. What we probably should have checked, we should have found out what they were hunting.
Ain't nothing like me, these Gert things.
Found out what they're hunting, and it might have been a bit easier.
Oh, was
I
that what they
mean-
were doing when they came up on us? Is it? They weren't
Oh.
hunting.
They were hunting something, but we didn't find out what they were hunting.
No, well, they weren't in us, I suppose.
I wonder if they were heading towards where the forest is or away, or parallel.
Can you not ask the walk? You got the ability to talk to animals and stuff, haven't you?
I don't think the orcs have got the ability to talk to the wargs, so...
Well, I don't think. Yeah, the warg's intelligent-ish, but it's not going to know.
Yeah.
We might know what they're normally hunting.
Have you given your warg a name yet?
Not yet.
Wargy.
Wargy, you got any suggestions? Salt? Go with salt and pepper.
When I did the speak to animals earlier, did I get any indication that I'd get an actual reply? Sam.
What reply to what? Sorry.
Questions I asked, when I did speak to animals earlier.
What questions did you ask? Sorry, did I miss something?
No, but I can't speak to animals to talk to it, but obviously I probably didn't talk to it that much, but I kind of spoke to it a little bit when I cast it. Did I get an actual reply, or did it just huff?
You have to tell me what you said, I guess.
I asked if it would be friends with Carl.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. It is very impressed and quite in awe of its new master.
Because now I figured out we probably should find out what the orcs are hunting, and whether I could ask the warg to find out what they were hunting.
We can assume you asked that at the time. You guys could have asked. That's not a problem. It's pretty, from what it is able to describe to you. It's like you don't get it doesn't give you a very extremely precise answer, but it tells you It's able to tell you that the orcs, its masters or its previous masters, they've been hunting some two-legged creatures that have taken up, essentially hiding in the forest. The orcs have been in there for some time searching for these creatures. Two-legged, hairy creatures.
Two-legged, hairy creatures.
Oh, you got any relatives there?
Do they have long ears? No, that's out of character. I shouldn't be asking that.
What two-legged hairy creatures would I know that in this sort of area?
From your experience when
yes.
you were in Jakrash, nothing particularly really stands out. In terms of like bipedal two-legged creatures, orcs, goblins, even kobolds, all very common in this area. None of which particularly considered hairy creatures. Could certainly, all of them can certainly be, have hair, but none of them would probably fall under what you would sort of consider to be a hairy or furry creature. Nothing really that stands out to you, particularly Elwyn, from your... I mean, you spent quite a lot of time in Jakrash, and really nothing that immediately springs to mind, no.
It's a mystery. I think we can surprise them during the night, and even if we just whittle their numbers down.
Yeah, I think we want to get closer, right?
Yeah.
At
But
least so that we can get an idea of how many of them there are. Or try and find them at least.
I do think it's going to be about 30 or so that's going to be in the warband. It's going to be quite a lot of them, right?
We took out 6 pretty easily. I didn't even get hit. I think we can take 30. 30 orcs, couple of ogres, and the big guy. Easy.
Let's just go and take them out.
I reckon.
Shall I save my spells this time and not worry about sneaking? Or sneak and just not worry about my spell?
They'll all be asleep, right?
Yeah.
Alright, surely.
How are you guys in the dark?
Oh, I should definitely prepare some spells.
I'm
That is a thing I should do.
clumsy. It's probably a good way to describe it.
I'm alright in the dark. Well, I mean, I can see alright. Don't use where I'm going though, and I'm in this clanky armor, so.
It's
not
just
very good at-
Would it be easier if you keep an eye at the back, Joanne? And then I stay at the front, and people that haven't got great vision in the middle to start with?
Yeah, no problem. I mean, just to be clear, I know you is an elf, but it's pronounced John.
John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Elwyn's
Sorry.
been listening to our narrator too much.
Yeah.
It's just, it is an elven name, but being brought up where I was brought up and all that, it's just pronounced John.
Sorry, my old wolf's name was Joanne.
Oh,
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice. Spelled the same or different?
Probably with an O instead of an A.
Oh, very nice. Well, it's just John. Anyway, yes, I don't mind. I take up the rear.
Yeah.
Can we all just give Jake a clap then for not taking the bait? I'm very impressed, Jake.
I'm getting better. Okay. I'm also just trying to actually work out what fucking spells to take, so that's taking all my mental
fine.
capacity right now.
That's fine.
Carl's got Firebolt, right? We remembered that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I get
No.
different spells during sleep as well then.
You took Druid, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, on long rest you can change your prepared spells, yeah.
Is it all the spells I know here?
Yes.
'Cause there's quite a lot in there. And then the highlighted ones are the ones I currently can use.
Yes.
Okay, I can't use peace bond or animal friendship anyway, because they're not coloured. They were not coloured, so I used spells
right.
I don't know. I
That's
never
cool.
picked them. That makes sense. I wouldn't pick them, to be honest. I was wondering why I picked them, to be honest.
So anything that is that sort of purple blue colour,
Yeah,
that is spells you always have. So they're ones that you've got from
so the purple are my hunter spells and the ones
yeah.
I know. Green's
Yeah.
ones are
Greens are the ones you've got prepared as a druid, and then the ones that have no colour are your unprepared druid spells. And there's like a little book icon you can click to prepare and unprepare.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And I believe you have 5 that you can prepare at a time.
Yeah, I've picked a spell that makes traps. Makes sense.
But yeah, when you guys are happy with spells, etc., let me know.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Sorry.
I think. Yeah.
There's probably a million little text boxes popped up on yours as well, because I think they do pop up on yours, don't they?
They do. It's all good.
Sols.
In that note, I think I used a spell that I didn't know another time as well. I think I used Absorbs Elements when I don't actually know it. It's confused me being on the screen in front of me.
That's all good. You can, once you've got the ones you want, you can filter by just prepared spells, if it's easier.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Mm. For me, that then drops off the at will ones.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, doesn't matter. I've got nowhere near as many spells, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah, druid especially is like, hey, here's everything. Although paladin's quite a good choice, I think Jake wrote.
Or what spells? The spells.
Yeah,
There's a decent number considering it's a half caster. Yeah.
nice. So what's the plan?
We're gonna try and find them in the dark and search for them.
So we're heading toward the warg party that we slaughtered.
Yes.
Were they coming from the direction of the forest?
They came from the west. The forest is more sort of northwesterly direction, probably more north. In fact, you've travelled a fair bit west following the first set of orcs. So it's probably more directly north.
Excellent. So they aren't going to be missed there.
They might not even be the same group.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Elwyn, from your time to Crash, the orcs are this Kulgar is essentially almost like a tribe leader that has risen up to essentially like command all the various tribes, but it's not a like structured civilization. There's still kind of groups all around. It's just that this is the superior leader over all the other sort of various groups. So it's entirely possible to encounter orcs from different sort of tribes and groups. Yeah. So you guys want to head up to the forest during the night, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, I think
I'll
so.
give Pepper a good smell of orc. Yeah, to sniff the orc, so she has like a good smell. So like, if orcs only appear in a certain radar, and she might have a scent for them, so it might have like a warning.
Yeah, you've got plenty of targets to sniff around you. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you begin making your way up across this sort of plains and ground up towards this forest. You can see the forest in the distance. You travel for an hour or so. And you're getting relatively close. So you don't really see as you're traveling, you do see signs of life. You can hear sort of animals call out through in the night. You get the sort of occasional sort of almost movement just out of the sort of edge of your hearing out of the distance, but nothing that really sort of like alarms you in any way. You're now within about sort of 150, 200 feet of the forest. The forest is in a pretty good range to you now. As you sort of getting close, you can see it's quite the trees of the forest stand quite tall, but everything looks kind of a bit decrepit. It's kind of the trees have growth on them. There are sort of some leaves and some like there is growth, but none of it looks particularly healthy. This is kind of this looks like a forest that is probably dying off. In the sort of, it's in the worst sort of part of its existence. It's not particularly. It's certainly thinking back to like Elwyn, like the forests where you grew up and lived in. This is nowhere near anything like that. This is not a particularly great looking area from where you are. From having looked at it from a distance when you sort of first arrived in Jakrash and etc., you've got a bit of a general idea. It's a decent sized forest, but this isn't like Needham's Grove where you went previously, where you could travel for days in it. Like the forest itself is probably between sort of maybe 15 to 20 square miles, so not insignificant, but it's nothing massive in terms of sort of scope. As you sort of get within this sort of close distance, the noise level picks up a little bit more. Elwyn, yourself and Pepper, you're quite sort of sensitive to noise, and obviously you have experience in sort of tracking. You both begin picking up on more just sort of noise and movement and life sort of in the area. But again, nothing, you see no sort of light sources, no loud noises or anything that immediately kind of gives you any sort of concern or anything. Do you guys want to sort of head into the forest or sort of scout around outside or burn it down?
Oh, that could be fun.
Might be quickest. Should we go round the edge of the forest and look for tracks and then follow them in?
Yeah, I guess we should really go around, check to see if they're on any edges of the forest, because if they are, then we found them, easy peasy. If not, then we'll have to go in and look for tracks.
I was thinking maybe hopefully we might find where they entered the forest.
Yeah.
So you guys want to look for any kind of tracks or marks or anything outside of the forest here, yeah?
Yeah, we'll circle around like the edge, the outside of the forest, and either go off if we find them or find tracks, whichever comes first.
Sure.
Oh, look at that. Thank God Carl's around.
Shane's AFK, is he? I will roll with advantage for him because favoured terrain. Nice. Yeah, you spend a little bit of time sort of on the edge of the forest looking for any sort of signs of life, anything like that. You don't really sort of find anything on the outside of the forest. There are some tracks and stuff which Elwyn and Carl, you both sort of come across, but it kind of looks, everything you can see kind of looks like you would expect in an area that is kind of wild and sort of forested. There's kind of, you can see like some hoof marks from various sort of creatures, but nothing that stands out. So nothing that Elwyn recognises as sort of orc tracks or anything like that. Nothing that looks particularly oversized or anything that sort of concerns you. Anything sort of out of the ordinary. As you are making these checks, though, you do actually note, again, yeah, Elwyn and Carl, right on the edge of the forest, actually, there's a little bit of sort of brush and overgrowth, like some sort of, almost like sort of small bushes. There is actually a bit of, some kind of material, like cloth. It's some coloured cloth. It's like a very, very pastely sort of orangey yellow type colour. Relatively small piece, sort of could fit in the palm of your hand, but certainly some kind of, it's like it's a material which has clearly been sort of woven and formed, and it's not of any sort of natural colour. This looks like clothing or something. It's man-made, some kind of man-made cloth.
And it's been torn off of something.
Yeah, like I say, it sort of would fit in the palm of your hand. It's not like a massive rip. It doesn't. It's not like you can look at it and say this is like, there's like some large slice in it where it's been cut. It looks like it's just been caught on some of this brush.
Is there any tracks underneath it?
Again, so you guys there are some various tracks around it. As you pick up on it and you spend a little bit more time in that area, you actually recognise there are some what appear to be footprints. There are, you can lean down, take a look. These appear to be bipedal and four-toed.
How many toes does an orc have?
5.
How many toes does a human have?
Depends on the human, but in general 5.
How many does your... Yeah, cobalt.
Kobolds.
3, right?
When we ask, does Artur look at his feet or his hands just for a second?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's a he did.
Hang on, it's difficult because you've got to times it by 3 as well, haven't you?
Well,
Exactly, it's maths,
you can hear
and-
if you stand close enough to him, you can actually hear them arguing.
What bipedal creatures do we know of that have 4 toes? Is that a defining feature for any that we can think of?
You can make a nature
I mean,
check.
I have a guess, but it's very much not Artuir's knowledge. It is Jake remembering something knowledge.
Apparently, toes is Elwyn and Carl's special subject.
Ugh, that's gross.
I had a different idea of how we could have found out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
I would ask Z's dad
You could.
What,
if he could
how many?
creatures have 3 toes and a thing. I was just like sending a message though.
Yeah.
You sort of spend a bit of time debating together. I mean, you could make. I mean, you almost hurt yourselves by all rolling relatively well or getting some relatively high rolls. There's quite a few four-toed creatures, based purely off bipedal 4 toes. Pretty hard to narrow it down. I mean, I could probably grab the monster manual out and pull out like a bunch of examples.
We're sort
Hairy and 2-legged. What ones are hairy?
Harry.
Yeah.
That's what they were hunting.
Oh, sorry. I thought you. Okay, you should put those 2 bits together. Sorry, I didn't know if I'd said anything that I may or may not have intended to. Hairy and 4 toes again. Kind of. I mean, you could probably make a list with not a massive amount of time, Elwyn, in the sort of time you've spent in the sort of wilds and the forests all around the sort of world of Thentos. You could probably quite easily name 20, 25 creatures that would still sort of fit that general description. It's relatively open.
Okay. It could be anything.
I mean, it's kind of. I'm trying to work out a way to give you some information without just sort of like telling you what it is, because obviously you could narrow it down to some ideas, but you don't have enough information to get a real solid like, yes, this is Vernon K or whatever. That was just the first example I thought of.
That's worrying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Vernon Kane's only got 3. But like the big toe is prehensile.
These marks do appear to lead into the forest for what it is worth.
I think we should follow him in. I mean, these are either four-toed orcs or they're
Alan's gonna guess it's those little hyena-looking creatures that have got 2 legs.
Gnolls.
Yes, that's it. I couldn't think of what they were called.
If it helps, gnolls are known to have 4 toes and 4 fingers.
That is my
Yeah,
guess.
but is one of them like at the back of their feet, like a bird's foot?
What, on a gnoll?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they on this?
No.
Ah, I knew it. Fucking knew it.
My guess is not.
And also, yeah, Phil, do with that what you please. You're welcome. My brain did a thing, and you can have the information.
I don't know.
By the way, to be clear, I chose not to make an itch check because I have no fucking idea.
That's when you didn't roll it, I kind of assumed that might be, yeah.
How big are they?
If you sort of put your foot alongside it, sort of measures up pretty much the same, roundabout. Your footstep is not an exact match. This isn't Carl's feet, so there's no kind of time travel shenanigans going on. But yeah, it at least off this size of the footprint, looks like it is of a similar build to yourself.
I don't think it matters. Let's go.
Yeah. We'll figure it out eventually.
Nice. You wanna sort of head in following this in particular, yeah?
If it's undead, we've got silver daggers and arrows.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, I think we should go in. I think Elwyn should track them, and we'll follow behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will track them and follow them.
You can make a survival check then. Anyone that's attempting to lead this, which I guess is you.
I
do I-
take disadvantage and roll
Do I
2
get
nines.
advantage where it's in
you
the
do,
forest?
Elwyn, yeah.
The Orc's got a roll as well.
Your disadvantage doesn't matter, Jake, because you
No,
rolled
I
the
literally
same
rolled
thing.
with the same thing.
Yeah,
I think we're
the
both
Orc's very
dreadful.
quiet.
Yeah, Elwyn, between yourself and Pepper, you can sort of spend a bit of time sort of getting a read on this, and sort of noticing the general direction, sort of following it into the forest. What sort of approach are you guys taking? Are you sort of taking this very kind of stealth, or are you just following it in, or like what sort of approach are you taking heading into the forest, I guess?
I would say normal pace until I think we're relatively 10 to 15 minutes behind the footprints.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then stealth then.
Yeah, okay. You spend the best sort of part of 20 minutes or so sort of following these footsteps into the forest. Every now and again you have to stop and take a look as the tracks become a little unclear, and there are various sort of creature trails that sort of break across them in different directions, but you're able to sort of keep a decent read and sort of start heading deeper into the forest. After about 20 minutes or so, you sort of get down to your knees, Elwyn, looking sort of pick up on the next sort of area they're heading in. You sort of, as you do, you sort of go down, you're sort of taking in the scent of the forest, and you sort of lay your hand down onto the print, and as you do, there is a slight warmth to it. You're pretty confident this is a relatively recent print at this point. You are within a close distance, that there's still some warmth in the ground where this footprint has sort of embedded itself into the sort of soft ground.
I will try and do sign language to say be quiet and go selfie, and then realise Carl probably won't understand. And just say, they're quite close, go slowly, we'll try and sneak up on them.
Pang, pang, clang, clank.
Yeah.
Yep, you're welcome.
Oh, Pepper as well. Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I didn't press the button.
There you go. Counteracts one of us being fucking useless.
Elwyn so stealthy that when he says it, we don't actually hear him properly, and we're all going, "What?"
Okay. So
Alwyn doesn't realise everyone else is being noisy. He's in the front going, "Stealthy, go here," and I'm like on the scene, but everyone else is like, "It's John."
apparently those of Elven descent understand the importance of this, and everyone else, yeah. So yeah, Elwyn, you give the sign. John picks up on this perfectly. John gets it, slows down the pace, begins sort of watching beneath his feet as he sort of steps, making sure there's no twigs that he steps on, anything like that. Carl and Arthur stumble on as they were. The warg's hungry. Pepper's a bit anxious. Yeah, you continue following them, and you reach one bit. You can actually see now for the first time, just up ahead. Who has dark vision? Everyone other than Carl, I believe, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone other than Carl, you all spot this first in the darkness. Carl, your eyes, you've got some amount of light, but it's a bit hard for you to pick out the finer details still. Elwyn, John, and Arthur, you all spot a figure stood about 40 feet ahead of you in the forest. Currently, so this is a standing just over 7 foot. Is currently it's stood up against a tree and is like almost reaching up. It looks like it's actually pulling like some mushrooms and some growth off the tree. A standing on 2 legs, a bipedal, covered with like hair and fur, which has its back to you currently, and it has this quite sort of very long ponytail. As I say, it stands about 7 feet tall, just over, and the ponytail comes down almost to sort of coming down the sort of about halfway down the hamstring, so it comes sort of quite low down, and it has this like quite just sort of, there's like a small amount of fur all over it, but this, like I said, this long hair, and you can see it's got some kind of like cloth clothing on. This is clearly like a humanoid type creature rather than just like a wild animal. It has clothing, and you can see it sort of reach up and it's sort of snapping off like a little bit of fungus on the tree. It sort of snaps it, and as it does, and it sort of pulls it off, it actually stops, and then it turns around and looks over its shoulder back in your direction. And you all recognise at this point, this is a furbolg.
I fucking told you,
No
Phil.
way.
You did.
Can't be.
I fucking told you.
They're
I
fucking
will-
cows. They've got 2 toes. Cows definitely have 2 toes.
Ah, they're not necessarily cows, though.
Or did you mean 2 toes across the whole of both feet, which would be 4? So 4 toes across both feet.
I have no idea how many furbolgs have canonically. I was going with 4, but we can happily say that's 4 across all of them. I'm fine with that.
I'm pretty sure cows definitely have 2 toes.
I feel I have to let everyone know that Jake did call that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this as well, but I decided not to suggest it because it's because of the number of toes.
Well, that's my
Never
fault for
mind,
not
yeah.
knowing that. In my canon, they have the number that I say they do, and I haven't decided whether that's 2 or 4.
Cows have 2 toes. Let's double check that. And in fact, like genuinely, I was going to suggest some like in character, like imagine like a cow who's managed to somehow learn to walk on 2 feet.
Are furbolgs cows? I don't even know that.
It's there's a debate on whether they're cows or, and I can't remember what the other thing is.
Or just Goliath.
There's like 2 animals basically but they are just giant kin.
Okay.
Yeah,
they
aren't
absolutely.
actually-
It's official Thentos canon now. They have 2 toes per foot. So
I mean, I'm checking the wiki.
I genuinely have no idea, and I have to admit, I didn't even look it up.
No, so some people like them because I think Critical Role made them sort of cows.
Critical Role, yeah, very
before-
much went away from the canon. I don't know whether it was for want of copyright infringement or something else, but yeah.
I've always thought of furbolgs as like hairy trolls.
Well,
I
I
think
think they
that's-
were
yeah.
in pre-5e versions, but then Critical Role made them sort of like cows, and then I think now, as a result, officially in 5e, they are cow-like.
Okay.
It's a world owl page, so of course it doesn't necessarily help. But it specifically says they have 5 fingers and between 3 and 5 toes.
Ah, there you go.
Or
Yeah, but it does. Yeah, but per foot or in total.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't say that.
Everyone's right. Yeah, so it stops, looks back, and you can see this is quite clearly like a feminine features you can see on the face. And it turns around and looks round at you and turns its head quite slowly, actually, and then speaks in common. And yeah, sort of turns around to you and goes, "Why are you sneaking?"
There's dangerous orcs about.
And she sort of takes down this fungus which was breaking off the tree. She takes it down. She puts it into like a small. Looks like she has like a small sort of woven, almost like wicker sort of container, which she appears to be gathering some things in. And she turns to you. She seems quite calm, even as you say it. She says to you, "What dangers do you know of?"
The orcs are here hunting.
She steps forward. She doesn't seem intimidated by you. Bearing in mind you are a group of 5 people, a dire wolf. Sorry, no, it's just a wolf, isn't it? A wolf, just a wolf. Sorry, Shane. A wolf and a warg. Doesn't seem particularly intimidated or cautious of your presence at all. And she takes a few steps towards you and sort of closes the distance. Carl, you can get a far better sort of look, even in the darkness at this point.
It looks like one of those creatures that we were looking for in the other forest.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm currently.
And she doesn't seem worried by us. I'll look around.
Yeah.
Kind of half expecting to see a couple more of them appear out of the forest.
Sure, make a perception check. Yeah, you begin sort of looking around, trying to ascertain the situation. You're struggling in the low light, Carl. You can't see anything. You don't hear any movement immediately. You certainly can't see any other sort of shapes around as you sort of peer out into the darkness. And yeah, she sort of steps forward and she sort of speaks to you. And she says, "You think the orcs are hunting now?"
Probably during the daytime.
They hunt at all hours. They are foul creatures. They do not appear to need rest or sleep. They hunt during the day. They hunt during the night. They are a darkness, an aberration, if you will, a nature gone wrong.
Can I ask you just a really random question?
Yes.
Is your name Bellajaw, or do you know a Bellajaw?
She shakes her head. She introduces us. She tells you, "My name is Faerona."
Okay.
You are hunting the orcs yourselves?
Yeah.
You can see she sort of is looking round at the group, and she looks at you, Artur, and she stops, and she sort of, as she sort of looking around at everyone, she smiles in your direction. She gestures towards you. She says, "You are a follower of Lathander. You wear his marks."
You have a keen eye.
Then any follower of Lathander is a friend of mine.
I'm glad to hear it.
And this group, they are your wards?
I look to Carl as that said, and then just nod. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
You're helping spread the message of the gods to them. Very noble.
Spreading a message about gods, definitely.
You see, she sort of, her head almost darts off immediately in one direction to the side, and she turns back to you. Just slowly turns her head back after darting it around. She says, "The orcs are on the move in the forest again. Your intention is to seek them out?
Seek them out, remove them.
Then best of luck to you."
Do you have any advice?
We're looking for Kulga.
The doesn't seem to be any sort of reaction to the name, and she turns and she says, "That's is that a place, a person?"
The leader of the orcs, we think.
The leader of the orcs. She pauses. She pauses for a moment. She turns to you, and if these orcs have a leader, I do not know of them. Each one seems as vicious and bloodthirsty as the next. But if it is your intention to hunt down this Kulga, then I wish you the best of luck with that.
Was it definitely the orcs that we were told about having the ring?
Yes, yeah. And she just really calmly, nonchalantly, she just turns her back to you and sort of starts to walk away.
Do we have any other questions?
Excuse me, miss.
Yeah, she stops and turns back. Yes?
Do you, where is it that you live?
We live in the forests. We're children of the forest.
Does you have like a town or a shop or like something like that? We might be looking for somewhere to stay at some point and didn't know whether you've got like a establishment or anything of the sort.
I have my family. They are sheltered nearby, and you would be most welcome.
Oh, is it just a few of you, is it? I thought it was just going to be like, I don't know, hundreds of you.
My family, there are around 50 of us currently.
Oh, it's quite a lot of you then. Well, I mean, I don't know what these others are thinking, but...
I thought furbolgs were extinct.
Why would you think that?
Not seen one in ages. Spent ages looking for some furbolgs. I heard rumours that they knew a cure for the blight.
She smiles as you say that. She just kind of smiles at you, Elwyn. There's no immediate response. She sort of smiles in your direction, and then she sort of continues speaking. She tells you there are many things that can be cured through nature. The power of nature gave life to everything you see around you, to these trees, to the soil, to you and I. A creature that is one with nature can manipulate and use nature itself. Anything that is damaged can be healed. If not, there would be no hope for any of us.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything can be healed if it wishes to be.
I was getting a bit uncomfortable with this.
Yeah.
I should be loving it. This is a way to get Z back. Anything can be healed, even having your head cracked open like a hard-boiled egg.
If only we had a great with our old newspaper days would have had the story nearly completed that we spent our girl time doing. Was your herd ever in the old what's the forest called again?
Needham's Grove.
Needham's Grove.
I don't know of this Needham's Grove.
It is quite far away from here, actually, so it's probably not
It
used.
is
It's probably
quite
different.
far away.
It's over in a different continent. Well, is we in a different continent now? I don't know.
You could travel.
Different-
We were there.
Different crunchy, right? But it's still the same land
Yeah,
mass.
it's still miles, isn't it?
I don't know. There could be like hidden portals anywhere in the world. Those little rings that brought the Garbanoids in. You could have anything that could teleport somewhere. We were there not that long ago ourselves.
Are you talking of the Mother Forest?
Yes, that'd probably be it.
Then yes, we have been there. The Mother Forest is the home of our people.
Oh.
It's the home of all things.
We're banned from that forest.
You can, as you say that, she almost seems a little bit taken aback. Nothing can be banned from the forest. Nature does not judge. There is no right or wrong. There are no laws to obey.
It wasn't nature that judged us.
Then who did you run afoul of?
Just the god of agriculture. I never wish to speak her name again.
Just to be clear, not all of us is banned from this forest of yours. I've not been there.
Yeah, I have no idea what these guys are on about. If I'm entirely honest.
If you ever go there, walk backwards. That's how you get out.
And her head darts off again in that same direction. Just looks over her right shoulder. Then just slowly turns back towards you. They're approaching.
Who is?
Orcs.
Okay.
Far worse.
Oh. Okay.
What's worse than the orcs?
Servants of the orcs.
How long we got?
Oh. Are you... What? To escape?
No, to take them out.
I don't know. How long will it take you?
I can get a few things set up in about 4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You don't have that much. You won't have that much time.
A minute?
And her head darts off to the side again. Look over to the right. She turns back to you. She says, "We should go, unless you want to continue your hunt alone."
How many's there?
She just kind of shakes her head. She says, "Their magic hides their numbers."
Ah, they're the blood mages. Or blood ogres.
Ogres, yes. Foul, dark magic sits upon these ogres. These are war beasts to the orcs.
Carl. Carl, you'll be good at killing these.
Huh. I'll give it a try.
These are your speciality.
Are we going to ambush them here?
Yeah.
You guys want to set up some kind of ambush?
Yeah.
How freaked out by the fact that these things are on their way does this Furball seem to be?
Oh, she nonchalant, barely a reaction. She's kind of strangely calm. Like, she's barely reacted to your presence. She barely reacts to this warning. Seems very calm, very collected.
Okay. I will turn to her and just go, do you need to go? Do you need to get out of here?
That would probably be for the best, yes.
I wouldn't want you to get hurt. If we take care of these, where can we find you and your people?
In the forest.
I was hoping you could narrow it down, but sure, we can work with that.
I just get my little friend here to give you a sniff, and we'll be able to find you.
When it is safe here again, we will find you.
Sounds good.
Then she steps forward to you, Arthur, and she reaches into that sort of that basket she has. She takes out this green, dry looking, almost sort of crumbly as it's in her hand, fungus. She holds it out to you, and she says, "A blessing for the follower of the gods."
I put my hands out and graciously accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any idea what it is?
You can make a nature check.
Oh, I'm great at these. Oh!
Looks like a relatively indescript sort of fungus mushroom type thing. Like I say, it's almost sort of looks as she sort of passes you to the texture. It's almost kind of like wooden and chalky and crumbly almost. It's certainly not like a sort of traditional mushroom. Almost like I say, more like a fungus or even like a very dry bark. But you don't really recognise. It's certainly not something you recognise particularly. Just looks like a growth on the side of a tree.
Nice. I bow my head so I go, many thanks, and for you, a blessing from the Morning Lord, and I will take some knick-knack from my pocket, like, that I've got. Let's be honest,
Your watchtower, isn't it?
I'll have all kinds of little mini symbols of Lathander in my pockets, and I will cast light on one of them as I pull it out of my pocket, and it's just this small glowing symbol of the sun, and I just place it back in her hands. Nice. May it lead you to brighter mornings.
And then she again, her head sort of darts over to the right. And she just slowly turns back and she says, "Good luck with your hunt." And she just casually turns and begins walking into the forest again.
I draw my sword. Right. Person that kills the least has to make the fire tonight.
You're right.
So you guys want to set up some kind of ambush, do you?
And I do, like, who's ever's in front, can I cast a snare trap right in front of them?
Do you want to be in front? Would we not be better hidden in trees, hidden behind trees?
I was just about to say.
I was going to leave a trap in front of someone, so when they go to them, they get caught in the trap.
Dropping a trap somewhere in the middle of this so that the first thing that walks in through gets caught in it would be great. Have you ever heard of something called a drop bear?
No, I was going to use...
Because that's my plan.
Snare.
Can I look around the space for a tree that might be climbable? That potentially has a branch hanging over this space?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and climb up it.
Is there a? It looks a bit like there's a path through here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sort of like more open forest whereas the bits around it are sort of this quite heavy like heavier growth. You couldn't move through some of these heavier bits very easily.
Can I just have the snare trap? Where are we going to jump at? Can I put the snare trap? Can I move it?
If it helps, the direction she kept darting her head off to is up this way, so like the northeast.
Right where you just put it. Can I put the snare trap right where you've just done that?
Yeah.
And it's not concentration, so at the same time, I'm going to cast a level 3 summon creature. I'm going to have with us, I don't want to say different, I'm going to have a saber-toothed tiger hiding there.
I'll move Augie round away from the saber-toothed.
My character token thing flicking to my other character token doesn't seem to work. Don't know why.
Okay.
But I will activate my armor and then sort of just stand inconspicuously shiny and full of electric behind the tree.
Yeah. I assume you are all hiding.
As much as I can hide with the keeping my hand on the back of the warg's neck to keep it quiet.
In that case,
Although I fully expect to completely lose control of it once the battle starts.
I can't promise I won't kill it. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's why I've got the saber-toothed tiger. It's got skill and stealth as well.
Nice.
in that case, let's get everybody to make a stealth roll.
Yeah. Drop bear.
Oh dear.
Well, those are some results.
Hey, this is going to be the fire giants all over again. Where's Harshnag?
Well, maximum 11. That is impressive.
God, we did roll badly. Fucking hell.
Yeah, for like 8 rolls, 7 rolls, that's pretty horrific.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7 rolls and not a single one rolled above a 10.
Nice. Yeah, so you all take up your positions, ready for this ambush you have put together. So we have Elwyn's snare there. What did you set up? Sorry, Arthur, you set something, didn't you?
I wanted to climb up a tree and drop bear.
Oh,
on
that's right.
something
Yeah.
and
You
come
were
past.
just making yourself into a trap, weren't you?
Yeah, I am the trap.
Nice. You all sort of sit back in the darkness. You sort of look out, gesture to each other every now and again, like just gesturing to keep quiet. And then you hear the first sort of noise. You can hear these like there's like some banging footsteps. Oh, I'm gonna get told off for banging the floor now. Sorry, Libby. I forgot she's in bed in the room below me. You hear this banging of footsteps. Yeah, my message has just gone. And you can, those of you that have some longer vision can see 3 large ogres walking along through the forest. They have almost like well, I guess it's the definition of half plate. Almost like half of their body is in like some kind of metal armor. The other half just looks entirely naked. You just see sort of rippling muscle. There is you can see these like runic carvings or tattoos in their flesh, and even in the darkness there's a very, it's not enough to like light the forest, but there's a very faint reddy orange glow comes from these scarred tattoos over them. You can see there looks like various sort of runes and shapes, and then right on their chest there is like a large carving, which kind of, it looks like a symbol of the sun, which carries on as it sort of meets where the armor is. The art is then like drawn onto the armor, and then on the flesh it's just sort of tattooed, carved into their flesh. And they have these large, really large, long, I suppose the closest equivalent you'd call it is a great sword. The weapon, these swords themselves, the strongest member of your party would probably struggle to use them effectively. They are these just long masses of sort of sharp metal you can see. They just sort of stomp their way down through the forest in this direction.
Oh shit.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
I didn't mishear you. They have the symbol of the sun marked on them.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the sun, yeah. It's a large circle with like rays coming off it all around it. Like
How
like how a child or myself would draw the sun.
how fucking dare you?
Yeah, they start marching their way down along through the forest, and we'll pick it up next session.
Oh,
What? Fuck.
Well, I mean, we can pick it up, but this seems almost likely to be about to start a combat.
Yeah.
So
It does feel
I appreciate the cliffhanger, but
Yeah.
it's slightly early.
I think so. I think it makes sense.
I feel that's a better place to leave. Otherwise, we're about to start what is probably a relatively heavy combat. Yeah,
And also then we can have Nick's back as well.
and no Carl.
Ah, shit. Phil,
I can't help it. I'm going to Cyprus.
that does sound like something you
setting.
could have helped, to be fair.
No, you can't help going to Cyprus, Jake. Like if Cyprus calls, you have to go.
Yeah, when you get to a certain age, these things just happen.
He's he's in his gap year, and Cyprus called to him, and
Yeah.
therefore he must go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fuck.
But,
Ooh.
well, you know what
Damn.
Carl will do. He'll
Rage,
probably rage
hit things,
first. Yeah, and then hit things.
and then heroically choose to stay behind while the rest of us flee.
Yeah, I that sounds very like Carl. Well, I did quite like the starting it with the Misty Step. That was quite impressive.
I mean, Carl bossed that combat. To be fair,
That was very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite. Yeah, it was good. It was nice to have things mostly go my way, and not fall off the warg.
and yeah, and then you'll probably get a group chat message around this time next week telling you that Carl's dead. So
Yeah, exactly how I died. That's okay. As long as Wargy McWalkface doesn't die, I can always play him instead. Although,
exactly.
as I say, Carl is fully expecting that the moment that the battle starts, the Warg will just go mental and start attacking everyone. Because
Wouldn't
you know,
that be unfortunate?
it's not exactly trained, so it's it's going to be fighting various people, probably the saber-tooth tiger actually.
That'd be great, yeah. The two sort of like summoned / creatures just like fight each other, yeah. Yeah, cool, nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a little early, but yeah, I think carried on would have been
I think you're right. I think that's wise.
nice. And I will decide on a definitive answer of how many toes a Furbolg has for you. I also sadly noticed halfway through that session that dice tracking thing doesn't work with the MIDI QOL attacks. It looks like it only works with just stuff you type into the chat for dice rolls, like natural dice rolls.
Oh,
So that's a shame.
what have I? Yeah, my stats were. It's got my two Well, it's got 2 20s. I rolled.
Yeah, that's your
a couple of crits
portent.
during the attack.
Your 220s is portent. Oh no,
It looks like it
unless
doesn't.
you did roll 220s to portent.
I think it doesn't pick up. It looks like it doesn't pick up attacks or like the stealth check, the things where I request the rolls from you.
Oh yeah.
Is my general sort of guess from when I was
220s.
looking in a couple of times.
Yeah, it's got very little from mine.
If you look, I mean, if you look at the global stats, like there was 14 D20 rolls the whole night apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely doesn't pick up on everything. Oh well.
I'll catch you all later.
Yeah,
Have
no worries,
fun.
Shayna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Jake and Phil rolled the most ones, and I rolled the most 20s.